The Fantasy Skirmisher.
Hey everyone, this is Nevin, and welcome back to the Fantasy Skirmisher. Excuse the sound of my voice. I've just been getting over being sick. And anyway, I just got this in the mail today. I saw an email from Warhammer.com that they had just produced this game. I don't recall any hype. I checked BGG, it was not listed at all. And so I thought, this is kind of curious. So this is the Hobbit, Hunt for the Arkenstone, a Middle-earth adventure game. Ages 12 plus, plays in 30 to 45 minutes, 2 plus players. What the plus means, I don't know. So looking at the back of the box, talks about Hunt for the Arkenstone, where it's a cooperative board game set in Middle-earth. And you take on the role of one of Thorin's company, and you got to work together. You scour the lands of Middle-earth in search of the precious Arkenstone. So before returning it to the throne room of Erebor, you will need to venture to all corners of Middle-earth, relying on your unique abilities and the help of your allies as you attempt to recover the king's jewel. As you traverse Middle-earth, you will find all manner of useful items that will aid you in your quest. However, it is not only our brave heroes who are on the hunt. It's not that simple. The company is being pursued by the vile Azog and his band of vicious hunter orcs, who will stop at nothing to capture the dwarves. So, the contents here. So we've got rules, the map, game map, or game board I should say, 15 gold plastic Thorin Company miniatures, Thorin's Company assembly guide, 3 dice, 40 location cards, 40 event cards, 40 item cards, 15 character cards, 15 turn order cards, 1 Azog marker, and 24 orc tokens. So to be honest, the reason I pulled the trigger and bought this, really not knowing much about the game and being a little dubious about how good of a game it is because the miniatures are compatible with the Middle-earth strategy battle game. And I thought, okay, cool. All right, well, 15 miniatures, including Gandalf and Bilbo, plus Thorin and all the dwarves. I think, okay, I'll do that. So anyway, what we're going to do is unbox this, and then I'll play it. Snap my fingers, I'll play it, and we'll review it. So one thing that I found curious was that it's not shrink wrapped. It's just got this tape. Okay, so we've got the miniatures, and they look very good. And I don't think I would have bought this if the miniatures were not compatible with the miniatures game. And then we've got the bases. And we've got something in here. What? Oh, we've got some dice. And this looks like it's all the cards. Okay, here is the assembly guide, which is, as you can see here, very minimal. So even if you're not a miniatures gamer, this will be pretty easy for you to assemble. And we've got, looks like, the map in here. So I'm going to turn the camera off just for a sec, just to unwrap all this. Okay, I got everything unpacked out of the boxes. And you see we have some tokens here. So we got a standee, and I guess these guys are all the orcs. And as you can see, they're just pictures right out of the movie. And there's a little stand for the standee, also cardboard. Interesting. And of course, you could always substitute with painted orcs. And then we've got, let's look at the rule book. So the rule book, I've got the model showcase. Okay, that's going to come in handy just to know which dwarf is who, and also, painting guide. So that'll be nice. But the rules looks like a clock in at a hefty 6 pages here. So I got the introduction, setting up, playing the game, and then drawing an event card and some examples. All right, so this will be quite simple. And then we've got the cards. I'm not sure what's what, but we'll take a look. Okay, turn sequence cards. Last 14. And let me get through all these. So I'm wondering what the sweet spot is for taking turns. Because based on the turn sequence here, this plays 15, up to 15 people, which is kind of crazy. Which would not be ideal for a solitaire player, and I'm just wondering how long that would take for 15 people to play this. But hey, there you go. All right, and then we've got location cards here. Let's separate these out because I see some other types. Item cards, okay? So we've got location cards. And it looks like the location cards go all the way around the edges of the map here. So when you land on a location, you take a look at and see what you got. And I'm not really going to go through all these because Forge, Lonely Mountain, Baird's House, Dol Guldur, Forest Paths, Goblin Town. All right, so it's cool. And it's got little pictures, from the movies, from the trilogy. All right, so those are location cards. And then we've got, these are all item cards here. So, there's the Arkenstone, what we're looking for. Sting, the Orcrist. So you can see there's quite a few things. Lockpick, some fine wine. I'm sure some of these things will come in handy as you kind of get yourself into trouble exploring the map. Saruman's staff, Gandalf's staff, Ragaz's staff. Okay, it's got really nice picks, as you can see. But these are item cards. And then we've got the event cards. And I don't want to give spoilers away, but I guess you got wargs and orc raids and Gollum, March on the Mountain, Follow the Scent, different events that you may encounter. Are they all bad? I don't know, but we will find out. And then finally, as far as the cards, we have got the different characters. So we have Gandalf the Grey. And so the backs look like this. Got Thorin on the back there. So they have a special rule and drawback. I'm not sure what drawback is, but so for Gandalf, for example, once during his turn, either before or after he moves, Gandalf may discard a single lasting effect card from another player on the same location as himself, but not himself. And you can see Bilbo, Balin, Bifur, Bofur, Bombur, Dori, they're all here. Dwalin, Fili, Gloin, Kili, Nori, Oin, Ori, and of course Thorin. So that's nice. So I'm just wondering what the sweet spot is here as far as playing. But we'll find out. Now let's just take a quick look at the map. So you can see it's got all different locations. So it looks like, if you land on Long Lake, you draw the card for the Long Lake. And overall, it is a map of Middle Earth with the different locations like Rivendell, of course. You got the Shire, Bag End. So it looks like, everyone would start at Bag End and work their way out. And I'm not sure what these numbers are, but maybe these are movement costs. So you've got 3 to go a long ways from Rivendell to the Mountain Pass, 2 from Mountain Pass to Azanbil's Bizarre. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Azanol Bizarre. Okay. Goblin Town, so on and so forth. So that's probably what these numbers are. There you go. There's the map with all locations that go around. So if I have to put location cards underneath here, the space is going to be a little bit tight on my 3x3 table. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and snap my fingers. And when I do, this game will have been played and we can talk about it. The goal of the game is for players to find the Arkenstone, which is hidden in one of the locations. And it's one of these item cards here. And then the character with the Arkenstone needs to travel to the throne room. And when that happens, the game is over and everyone won because this is a cooperative game. If all the players are captured or sent to the dungeons or the Elven King's prison, then the game is lost. Another way that players can lose the game is if the event card Smog Awakens is drawn and the player holding the Arkenstone is either on the Lonely Mountain, Plains of Erebor, the Forge, or the Treasure Room location, then Smog reclaims it and the game is lost. To set up the game, first you determine the number of players. And what you do is each player would randomly draw a character card, and you can see that they all have Theoden on the back here. That way, it's a random draw, so you could have Gandalf, Gloin, Killy, or whoever. I decided in my solitaire game to choose 3 characters, and the 3 random characters I got was Nori, Oin, and Dwalin. So I just set these down, and then you take the item cards and you put one at each location, which is around the edge of the map here. You shuffle the event deck and the location cards, put them in their proper place. And then there is a deck of cards to determine who goes first each and every round. So first player's first, last player's last, and of course you got the second player. So this is the 3 cards. The players start at Bag End, which is a safe place. Events do not affect Bag End. And Azog always starts at Weathertop. Each turn, what you do is the turn sequence cards, you just shuffle them up, and then you assign one to each player, and that determines the play order. So in this case, Oin, the dwarf, is the first player. And each character has a unique special ability, and what I think is kind of cool about this game, it also has a drawback. So for example here, before Oin draws an event card, he may look at the top 2 event cards and place one at the bottom of the deck and then one at the top of the deck. And then you do draw the event card and then play it. Now his drawback is whenever Oin fights orc tokens, he rolls an additional die and then discards the highest roll. So of all the dwarves, he is not the best fighter. The sequence of play is right there on your turn order card. So the first thing you do is you draw a location, make a move roll, move your character, and then draw an event card. So the sequence of play is quite simple. So let's just go through a sample turn. So it is Oin's turn. He is first, and the first thing he does is draw a location card. The whole point of this is to move Azog, because he's on the hunt for you. So we drew the Goblin King's throne in the Misty Mountains, and each region of the map has a symbol just to help you locate the region, as well as it being slightly color-coded. All right, so we're going to take Azog here, and we're going to move him to down here, the Goblin King's throne. Now we make a move roll. And yes, this is a roll to move. And we rolled a 4. Now we just can't move 4 spaces. You see that there's numbers here, and that is the move cost to move from one area to the next. So we got Owen right here. He can move 1 space to the Shire. He can move 1 to Bree, and then end up at Trollshanks here, or Trollshaws, excuse me. Or we could move up to the Blue Mountains, which I think we're going to do. So Owen moves to the Blue Mountains with his roll of 4. And yeah, that's an old mechanic, but then again, you know, a touch of evil and talisman and other games do use it, and it works for this because of the move point allowance. And it goes from basically 1 to 4 points, and that just represents longer distances or rugged terrain, things like that. All right, so we are at the Blue Mountains, and so what we're going to do is we are going to find the Blue Mountains card here, the item card, and draw it. And it's right here in the very back. We turn it around, and we drew a War Boar. Play this card when any number of orc tokens would be moved onto or placed on your location. Immediately remove those orc tokens. All right, that's a good card to have. So after we do that, we just draw an event card here and apply its effects. The Stubbornness of Dwarves. For the duration of the round, players may not finish their move on the same location as another player unless they have no other option. Okay, that's fine. That's an easy card. A lot of these cards involve placing orc tokens. And there's different pictures of orcs from the movie that you place. And you got to battle them if you land on the space. I think we'll take a look at that, how that works as well. But basically, each player kind of goes through this turn sequence until either the game is won or lost. If Azog moves to the same location as one of the players, that player is captured and moves down to the dungeon. You can't really do anything except for try to escape the dungeon, and that is rolling a 6. There are some cards that other players may have that could help you, things like that. But anyway, basically you can't do anything unless you escape the dungeons. And that applies as well if an event card with the Elven Kings sends you here. So that is one way to get captured. Also, if you are battling orcs and you don't defeat all of them, and there could only be 3 orcs in any one location at a time, and to combat them you roll dice on a 4 better, you defeat them, but if there's any left over, there is a chance, if you roll a 1 on a d6, that you can be captured by the orcs, and then of course move down to the dungeon. So as you can see, this is a very simple game, and kind of reminds me of one of the Games Workshop games that you would find at your local bookseller or Target department store, things like that. But it does not have the price point for just the casual gamer to pick it up, because its retail price is $80 US. I found it cheaper online. I would not have paid a retail price, but really the main reason I bought this game is because of the miniatures. You get Thorin's Company, and so now I've got a 1,000-point Legendary Legion army for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. And that is primarily why I bought it. I would recommend this game for casual gamers, or if you have family members and you need something a little bit lighter, it's fine. But I think after a few plays, you get to know the cards, the game's not going to be as enjoyable as maybe the first few times that you play this. So as you can see, these miniatures, if you're familiar with the Middle-earth strategy battle game, is the box set sold a while ago, which right now I found on the market, like at Noble Knight Games and on eBay, for between like $45 and $55. And again, this is a 1,000-point army right here with only 15 models. And so that is why I bought this. So, but they are the same model, just they're just cast or molded in gold plastic. I hope you enjoyed this quick review, and thank you for watching the Fantasy Skirmisher. See you next time. Bye.